Next thing, what have I been seeing in my garden? I wanted to talk a little bit about a blue-banded bee visited me. It's the very first time that I have ever, to my knowledge, had a blue-banded bee in my garden. And for years and years I've been looking and looking, thinking, will I recognise one when I see it?
You
But
can't miss it, can you?
No, wow, there was no doubt about it.
Blue and black bands on the abdomen.
Yeah, and a gorgeous furry thorax, the chest. Oh, it was a beautiful thing. So I'm told that there are something like 25 subspecies of blue-banded bees, but this particular one was just slightly larger than a normal European bee. And I think that that's probably the one that we get around here. I don't really know much about that.
I think the ones I see are maybe just slightly smaller. Yeah, have you seen them going to sleep?
No, but I've heard
Yeah.
the males line up on a
Just
a
on
stem.
a stalk,
Yeah.
And then they just hang on by their,
Their mandible, their
I was going to say
jaw.
teeth,
Jaw.
by their jaw, yes. And then they just hang there in lines.
Yeah, in a
Not
little
touching
group.
each other or anything.
Yes.
They don't talk to each other or anything like that. But they just hang there and they stay there all night. And then they
Yes.
take off in the day.
Yeah. So these, the blue-banded bees are an Australian native bee, and they're not hive bees. They kind of live as individuals.
And they don't sting, do they?
They have a sting, but they're not aggressive. That's what I've read.
Ah. So don't try squashing it thinking that it's a wasp or something.
No, but you can't fail if you know, if your
It's
eyes are
beautiful.
alert. Yes, it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
The females do nest in the ground or in mud or mud bricks or things like that. So I know some people are aware that wasps often nest in the ground, but just because an insect is coming out of the ground does not mean that it's a wasp. It might be a blue-banded bee. And I'm wanting to attract more of them to my garden. One is not enough. And I've read that plants that flower blue or purple are particular attractors.
I think I said before, mine this year was not as I expected on tomatoes, which after all have yellow flowers, but on comfrey.
Oh, right.
And they have purple and blue flowers.
Oh, there you
and they
go.
kept coming back.
Ah.
So I kept wanting to chop the
Comfrey
comfrey down
back.
and put it in the compost, but I didn't like to do it because I wanted the bee.
Well, the one individual that I saw was on a red and white salvia. But saying that reminds me that we should mention, while we're talking about these gorgeous things, that they have a special way of collecting pollen. That's a clue, yeah.
Sometimes you hear them before you see them.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
want to talk about that?
Yes, they're called buzz pollinators.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure what exactly they vibrate. Wings?
Yes, it is
The
their
wings.
wings.
And you can actually hear them going bzzz,
Oh, wow. Gee.
and that shakes out the pollen
Yes.
out of the stamens.
Yes,
So they-
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Smart. Yeah.
Apparently this buzz pollination is called sonification. And the fact that you mentioned tomatoes was what brought it to mind. There are drives to try to get blue-banded bees doing more pollination of tomatoes
Oh,
because
right.
they're really perfect for the job, apparently.
Excellent.
Yeah. Quite a few of our native Australian flowers also require buzz pollination, such as hibbertia and senna. I don't know if I'm pronouncing those things properly.
Hibertias, I have hibertia. Okay, I'll get some more. What was the other? Senna.
Senna.
I've got senna.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
They're both bright yellow.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe it isn't. Maybe it isn't the colour. I don't know.
Yeah. My last interesting fact about blue-banded bees is that one of their threats is the neon cuckoo bee. So we've talked about cuckoos in birds who lay their eggs in other birds' nests, but bees have this problem too. The neon cuckoo bee will implant its eggs into blue-banded bees' nests, and instead of the expected blue-banded bee baby, out pops a neon cuckoo bee.
I'm not sure if I've seen a neon cuckoo. Is it
I haven't.
bright blue?
Oh, we're going too far out of my comfort zone here. I
Yeah,
don't
we
know.
must check them out.